Hey guys, I'm here with Steve Douglas. He runs, actually Steve, you tell us who runs and how, where did Catfish Conference come from? Let's put it that way.
Well, I got a little sponsorship from Jeff Jones Marine at one time. And they were kind of saying, hey, how can we get some people to come to Jeff Jones? And I figured I could get, 200 people to come visit on just a regular day. And we'd have a little party or something, but we ended up having a Catfish Conference instead in the Jeff Jones Marine facility. And I kind of coordinated this with one of the employees at Jeff Jones Marine.
Okay.
So the first one, we were supposed to open at 9 o'clock. People were at 7:30. People just wanted this.
Right.
And that was 2015 maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. And it's just kind of snowballed ever since. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it's one of the things that, now let me ask you, Steve, where did the idea, because as everybody knows, if you go into Walmart or go into any store, there's always all this fishing tackle and there's this much space for catfish people.
Yeah.
And when I seen in 2016 there was Catfish Conference come out, I thought that was one of the greatest things in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And since that's something that you have put together, I consider Steve the pioneer. I got a friend of mine that actually called you the Godfather.
Oh.
I'm serious.
Oh, yeah?
I got a friend that actually called you the Godfather, and he's right about that, because there was nothing like this for the catfishing world until you came along. And of course, a lot of us seen your videos.
Right.
We enjoyed your videos. Who's this guy catching these fish? And the one thing about your videos that you did is, how you're the person videoing would get right in there and make you feel like you're there. And
That is my beautiful wife. She will she'll lean over top of the boat and get the best shot she can. So.
Yeah. And that was always good videos.
Mm-hmm.
That was good videos. And then here come the Catfish Conference, and it's grown to what it is today.
Right.
And like I said, I'm gonna go back to that again, guys. We consider, and I want people to remember this about Steve Douglas. We would not have the attention, the products out in the world would not, some of them wouldn't exist if they didn't see what's going on here and their brains started clicking and go, maybe I need to come up with something. Mm-hmm. People's done that.
Well, I mean, we started the Catfish Conference. Our first year we started just to bring some people in there, but then we seen, hey, people really want this. So now the second year we did it at the Crown Plaza, and it became a avenue for vendors and folks like yourself that are just connoisseurs, if you may, to grow the catfish. And it just keeps snowballing.
Yep. Now, I got another question for you, Steve. Back before Catfish Conference ever existed, you have your monster rod holders, you have your monster nets. Where did that idea come from? How did that happen?
Well, I guess it was around 2004, 2005. I was kind of fresh into the catfishing, trying to figure things out. And I was using a competitor's rod holder. I won't say no name, but a competitor. But what I had, it wasn't really built for what I was doing. But anyway, I lost what in my mind was the fish of a lifetime. In my early years, it was probably a 30-pound fish because it was in really heavy current anyway. But I just seen the pole leave, and in my mind, that was my 100-pound fish. Yeah. And I said, that's never going to happen again. So I built me a rod holder. I fished all the major tournaments around the country, and people just started seeing the red and black rod holders. And that, again, snowballed. I was never trying to get in the rod holder business. I just needed something for me, because there was nothing out there. There was one company making rod holders at that time. And, you couldn't get them everywhere. Right. So I just made my own. And here we are today, 15 years later, we're still kicking.
Right. Now your nets, and that, I own a, what was it, the 40? Yeah, the Hydro Web, the HD40. I own the HD40, and I love that net. I really do. It's easy to handle. It's been a great net since I've got it. But where did the idea of nets come from? Why did you want to do? I mean, where did that stem from?
Well, because they really don't make nets for the kind of size catfish I make. And I had another company that I'd used for years and years, and I just partnered with that company, and they produced the nets for me to my specification. You cannot get that net anywhere out else out in the world.
Right.
If you want that my net, then you got to come through us.
Right.
So-
Well, it's definitely a good net.
Yeah, we just had to make it longer and wider, and we've got excuse me.
That's okay.
We've got a mushroom bottom, so that the fish is not all V'd up. I mean, it just spreads them out
Right.
and makes them more comfortable.
Lets them lay.
Mhm.
Lets them lay more as normal as you can get in a net, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting, and I can't stress enough, anybody that uses the monster rod holders or Steve's nets, that all, and I agree with my friend that said, Steve is like the godfather of everything we have today of the Catfish Conference. I really do. And I want people to remember that about you, Steve, because
Well, I appreciate
you're
that.
not always going to be here forever,
Right.
but your name is going to be forever. And we want that to carry on, at least I do.
Well, something happened to me last night that was cool as heck. I don't know if anybody knows it or not, but the ACA, I had their banquet last night, and apparently I am in the ACA Catfishing Hall of Fame now. And it's supposed to be put in, and I'm in there with Keith Sutton, John Jameson, the Massengill brothers, Bill Dance, and there's 9 of us total that got inducted last night. So
Really?
we're gonna get a big plaque at the Bass Pro Center in Memphis. That's kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And fun, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Was that a surprise to you?
Yeah.
Was it? That's great. That's great. And that's ACA. Who runs?
The American Catfishing Association.
Okay. Is there a head person
That's Glenn Thomas.
Glenn Thomas? Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about the ACA. I've seen it quite a bit, but I've never really dug into it.
They're really trying to do some good things. We just got to give them a little shot. I mean, you can't do anything overnight. I mean, guys used to get mad at me all the time because they thought because I had a little YouTube fame, I could tell the state of Kentucky how to do their regulations.
Yeah.
That don't work.
No.
So
No. You guys have been fighting forever on that.
yeah. We started in 2010. That's when I put my first video out, just letting people know, hey, these guys are taking these big fish out of the river.
Right.
So, but it's been a ride. I'm having fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun for a long time. Like I said, since my first conference that I went to, I walked around and I had that idea too. I wanted to do something. Everybody feels that.
Right.
We all kind of feel that, and and then back then that's when I met you.
Well, didn't you start a company one time and we had you at the Catfish Conference?
Yep.
What was it, Big Cats or?
Tackling. It was tackling cats.
Tackling Cats, yeah.
And then I ended up selling the company or whatever. But Steve told me one time. He said, "Willie, if you want to run a company, you have to run the company." You told me you have to fish and run the company. You can't work a job and do this. And that's what I was trying to do. And he's right. He's been in it long enough. He knows what's right and what's wrong.
Well, I mean, that's what I did. I mean, in 2008, a lot of people don't know this about me, but in 2008, I lost everything I had. The economy went shot, and I lost everything except for my boat. I had my little Ranger bass boat, paid for it, and I went fishing. I got frustrated, lost everything, and I just quit. Just went fishing. Didn't want to do nothing else anymore. And I would see trucks going down the road, like work trucks and stuff, and I'd think, oh man, I need to be there. But what I had to keep telling myself, no, Steve, you do this for a living now. You fish for a living now.
Right.
It took about 6 months for me not to feel guilty anymore.
Okay.
But here we are 15 years later, and I'm not here to brag or anything, but I got a $1.5 million company. That
we
pays
want to
the
hear
bills.
that.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear.
So we went from nothing to, we generate $1.5 million a year.
That's great. You've put
We
in a
don't
lot
make
of time.
that, we generate that.
Yeah, right. You've put in a lot of time and work and effort to build that alone. I mean, none of this is easy.
No.
None of what you do is easy. It's a lot of keeping track of things, a lot of, and another thing is, and I know this is something, you get a lot of people, hey Steve, you get that attention and you got your mind set on trying to do something and you're distracted a lot. And that's a good thing.
Right.
You told me at one time before, that's a good thing to be distracted. That's what you wanted. So, and
yeah, it's hard like on a conference like this, but I'm not complaining a bit. I love my fans. I love the Catfish Conference fans. And I can't walk 5 feet. Sometimes I have to sit still because there's people waiting to take pictures with me. I love that, and I love my I don't want to call them fans, catfishing fans, whatever, I always stop if I can. Now I know I have made a few people mad because I'll be talking to somebody and then somebody else will grab me and I spin around and I talk to him and then I look around and another guy's grabbing it. So I'm not trying to,
Right.
You're not no way better than him, he's not no better than me, but
Right.
it's who grabs me or spins me around.
Right.
And I try to have time for everybody, but
Yeah.
if I've made you mad before because I've turned around and walked away, I wasn't aiming to. So
Yeah, and that's something that's good that you touched on that, because there might be people that see you and as you walk by and they might call your name and you're tired, you know, and you might he might not even notice you even called his name, you know what I mean, because you can't hear it.
Well, see, I have to introduce the seminar speakers and all that. And I feel bad about this, but I did take pictures with new fans of Catfishing Conference. On my way over to introduce Chris Souders,
Yeah.
I got stopped. And then I got stopped again. Next thing I know, Chris Souders is over there. He done took matters in his own hand, and he's doing his own seminar. So
Yeah, well, that's Chris for you.
yeah. So that I was lucky that was happening. It wasn't one of my new seminar speakers.
Right.
So.
That's one thing you can too rely on Chris on. He can see where to pick up, you know, which is good about him. I know Chris very well.
Yeah,
So,
he's a good guy.
But again, guys, I wanted to go back. I wanted to get with Steve here. We had talked a while back about doing this little get together here because I wanted people to know you would not have what you have, in my eyes, in America today, which is a Catfish Conference, and other people are doing these things too. There's some guys out there putting on shows, but we never had it for the catfish world. Not that I ever remember. You know, catfishing was a shoved in the back type of thing, and this guy here brought it to life. And the people that did it with him, I mean, you got Hervé that works with
Hervé's
you.
my partner, We've been together since, now I don't want to say partner, but my partner in business.
Right, in business.
I kind of watch how you say things
Yeah.
But yeah, ever since the start.
Yeah.
So we've got some great ideas. He's a young man. I'm old school and kind of stuck in my ways, but he's got the new ideas and new technology.
Right.
So he's the one that's going to hopefully help make catfishing better.
Yeah.
As far as the conference goes.
Right. He's probably tending to maybe some of the things that.
Administrative stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. I'm the guy that gets the butts through the doors.
Right.
He's the guy that organizes the things.
Yeah.
Finances and stuff like that.
Yeah, as soon as we came in, Hervé walked right up, you know, because he remembers me and hey, how you doing? You know, it was good to see him, and you know, and that makes him you know, Hervé, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a nice guy as far as what I know of him. He always has been that I know of him. So, but it's still, to me, it's still Steve leads back to you.
Oh.
You know, I mean, you.
Yeah, I understand. I'm the face of Catfish Conference. For
You
sure.
are.
Yeah.
You are. Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't meant to be like that, but I'm having fun. I like to say, the main thing, and I've learned this in the last 6 months too, and I don't know if you've seen my little quest and journey I've been on.
Yes, I
as far
have.
as the weight loss and health and all that, but I don't care for drama anymore, and you know, things have just changed. So, but I'm more of a upbeat outlook on the way I want happiness for everybody.
Yes,
So
good.
that's why I'm creating the Catfish Conference for a good atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah, and I had to babysit a tipsy guy yesterday. I had to go sit down next to him and hold him so he wouldn't fall on the floor during a seminar. But other than that, it's pretty much drama free here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's when everybody walks in the door here, I think they're pretty comfortable, and that's the way I always feel. You feel like almost everybody's kin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like, that's my cousin. That's, you know, not that they really are, but you feel that way because we're all had the same interests.
Right.
You know, and it's good, Steve. I'm proud of you that you've lost your weight. I'm sure you feel a lot better too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they had to make a difference on. You know, and sometimes we all need that wake up call and maybe something that's hindering us from doing something.
Right.
You know, so that.
Yeah, back on that riverbank, I died back there, and a new dude come to the surface, and that's just what you get. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I appreciate you sitting with me.
Yeah.
And letting us
Always.
recognize again who Steve Douglas is and the world that we live in of catfishing that has come to life over the years through you.
Well, thank you for the recognition.
I do. I really recognize you for that. I always have, and I always wanted to. I don't know how many people ever see this video, but the ones that see it, I want them to know who you are.
Oh.
It might be people that just stumbled across the video, and, and don't understand what this place is, and who you are.
Well, thank you so much for spending your time with me.
All right, Steve.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.